very contentious charge on which you were convicted, and the reason why you are serving such a long sentence, the shooting down by Cuba of 2 civilian planes from the United States in 1996. Did you have any role connected to that?
No, absolutely not. But you have to understand what really happened. The person leading those planes is called Jose Basulto. He was a CIA operative in the 60s. He was infiltrated in Cuba to do sabotage. After that, in 1962, he went back to Cuba from Florida in a boat. He fired a cannon against Cuba Hotel, went back to Miami and was received like a hero, and has a long history of terrorism against Cuba. And at some point in his life, he said, all right, I'm going to be a humanitarian now. I want to get these small planes and fly inside Cuba with no permission at all and drop leaflets and propaganda. And he did it like 16 times. And Cuba sent to the U.S. 16 diplomatic notes which were presented in our trial, complaining to the U.S. and saying, hey, these people are violating international laws, U.S. laws, Cuban laws. The Cuban MiGs used to take off and call those people out, and Cuba used to say, hey, don't do it anymore. You are putting in danger our own aviation, our population, everything.
That may have been wrong, and I'm sure there have been many diplomatic arguments about it, but what I'm interested in is what you did about it.
Well, nothing. I was in Miami, and the planes were shut down in Cuban waters, a long way away from me.
So you didn't pass any information that would have helped the Cuban government to shoot down the planes?
No, of course not. If you go to the records of those times, you will see that Jose Basulto announced way before the trip. He said, we are going there on February 24. Everybody knew that. We presented in our trial memorandum from the U.S. government, one agency, the Federal Aviation Agency, telling their people, hey, he's going to do that on February 24. We are concerned that something's going to happen because Cuba already said if they do it again, they're going to be shut down. So we better have all the ducks in a row. That's textually what the memo said. So everybody was expecting that something will happen. We even in our trial, Richard Nuccio, the former advisor to President Clinton, he was in the trial, and he said, yeah, that organization was out of control. There is a long dispute over the incident, and Cuban said that they shot the planes inside Cuban waters, according to the Cuban radars. The U.S. says that one plane was in Cuban waters, but the 2 that were shot down were heading there, but on international waters. And the government charged me for conspiracy, and they said that is because I knew that the plane would be shut down, and because I knew that the planes would be shut down over international waters, which has no sense at all. It's something crazy, but they need to blame somebody, and they shoot me.
You have an appeal coming up. What will be the grounds for your appeal?
Well, we got different issues in our appeal. The main issues which we already won, and unfortunately was reversed, is the venue issue. We argue that the trial wasn't fair in Miami. Our trial lasted almost 7 months, and there was more than 100 witnesses. And the jury deliberated a few hours, and they didn't ask a single question. They just found out guilty in every single count. And then the judge gave us the higher sentence possible in every count.
And you say that that is because of the influence of the Cuban exile community in Florida?
Yes, of course. During the trial, there were all kind of irregularities, to call it like that. People were filming the juries and following the juries. The press was following the juries to the cars, and there were riots or some kind of protest in front of the court. also the press was really rough with us, and
so you think the jury was intimidated or even tampered with? Was it as serious as that?
I believe the jury were intimidated. Anybody who lives in Miami or who knows what's going on there would understand that nothing related to Cuba is normal in Miami. Right now, for example, a book has been taken out of the shelf in Miami, taken out of the schools, just because on the cover there are some Cuban kids smiling and looking happy. And it's a book for kids named Let's Go to Cuba. And they just pull it out because of that, because there is a phrase in the book that says, oh, Cuban kids study and live like you, something like that. And just because of that. And everybody that knows the history of Miami knows that people have got killed just because they want a better relation with Cuba. I mean, I can tell you about the replica magazine that was bombed like 7 times because they advocate for a better relation with Cuba. People in Miami are that they have to. You have to live there to understand. Most American people not even have an idea of what is going on in Miami. It's like another country.
The Cuban leader Fidel Castro in the past has taken quite an interest in your case, and he's spoken on your behalf. Have you heard from him directly at all?
Well, I had the opportunity to talk to him by phone on his birthday about 2 years ago. It was something that I didn't expect. I just called my wife that day because it's also my college friend Rene Gonzalez's birthday, and my wife, our families happened to be with him. So when I found out, I told my wife, please tell happy birthday to him from me, and then he said, oh, hold on 1 second, and I wanted him to tell me. So I had a chance to talk to him for a few minutes, which was a great experience to me, of course.
And what did he say?
Well, he said that he's confident that justice will prevail because he has always been confident that when the American people find out about what has been done in our case, and when the American people find out the truth about our case, justice will prevail. Everybody are confident on that.